Last video we were looking at some JavaScript Array Explorer tool, going through different array methods, and we were doing some advanced array work here. Look, we have reduce, filter, map filter. So we're going through like advanced arrays and just working with them and some of the essentials in that. So now we're going to do some more JavaScript practice, and in this one we'll be doing advanced objects. So how this is going to work is I'll go through the code and I'll read it out as we go along, and then we'll type it out and practice it straight away. So let's get into it. Alright, so I'm going to have the title of advanced objects. Now let's do some coding. I'd highly recommend that you do this, like you code it out yourself as well, just so you get used to it. Alright, so how objects are stored in memory. Like they're different. When you assign an object, it's stored to a certain place in memory, like a unique spot. So I'll demonstrate this now. I'm going to have reference type, which is the name of this topic, reference type. So I'll have var object 1, which is equal to the value property. Then we'll have the property of 10. Then we'll do var object 2 is equal to object 1, and we'll have var object 3, which is equal to value of 10. Now we're going to log these on the console and see what we get. Alright, so we'll reload this and then we'll log them out on the Google Chrome console. And now if we do object 1 equal to object, oh, we misspelled object 2. I'm gonna have to do that. I made one extra B, so I'm just gonna fix that up and then we'll go back. Alright, that's better. Now if we do object 1 equal to object 2, we get true because we assigned object 2 to equal object 1. But if we do object 1 is equal to object 3, we get false. Now how come? Because object 1 has value 10 and the exact same with object 3. So what's going on here? Well, we're assigning object 1 to a unique place in memory, and then with object 2 we're assigning that to the same place in memory as we assigned object 1, because we're assigning it to object 1 itself. But then with object 3, although it's the same value, we're assigning it to a different place in memory. So when we do object 1 is equal to object 3, we get false. Whereas we do object 1 to object 2, since they're referencing the same place in memory, we get true. Alright, so that's reference type. Now we'll go on to context versus scope. And we'll code it out in a second. So if we have context versus scope, you do a function b. I have brackets here. Oh, function, I need to spell that right. Function indented, let a equal to b, or let a equal to 4. Now what we're going to do is, this is the idea of this in JavaScript, which can be quite confusing. It's one of the most confusing things in JavaScript. So now I'm going to go console.log this on the console, so we get the window. So it's referring to what object we're currently in, and the window is like the global object. So we're currently in global, this, and if we do console.log this equal to window, and if we do this dot alert hello, which would be window.alert hello. Alright, so if we do console.log this dot alert equal to window, we get true because we're currently in window. And if we do this dot alert hello, we get hello, because alert is a method in the document and document is in window, so we can reference that. Alright, so if we did function a and then we did console.log this, so we're inside function a this time, const.log it, we get window. So we const.log this, even though we are inside this function. But now, if we made a new object, here's where it gets interesting. We made a new object and we did a, and then the value is function, and const.log this. Now let's have a look. So we have another object, and if we log it, and then we call object for dot a, our object, we need to call it, we go object for dot a, we use parentheses, we get a, so it gives us a and f. So this const.log this would give us a. Alright, so a, we get the object here. Now what's going on here? So it was referencing this, which is the object which we're currently in, and in this case a, which the function runs const.log this, was inside of a, the property and value, which was inside of object 4, and that's why it gives us a f. Alright, so now for instantiation, which is really handy, you'll be using this a lot in React, instantiation. So class, scroll down, class player, which is constructor, type, we'll do this dot name is equal to type, or name, and now we see that we're referencing this, so we're using a constructor, which is a special word, and we have the parameters of name and type. We have this dot name is equal to name, this dot type, which is equal to type, and now if we do introduce, we call that, we curly brackets const.log, and we'll have template strings, pi, I am, with dollar signs, and we'll pass values this dot name, so we're referencing this object, this dot name, the property of name in this object, and this dot name, which is name, the value that we'll pass to it, this dot type, which is equal to type. So we can do I'm, do next line, I'm, then we'll do dollar, this dot type. So now we'll have I'm this dot type is equal to type, and we're given that value in when we call it. So now if we do introduce, which will const.log that, and now we can actually extend onto that object. So if we did class, say extend onto an object, so we're going to be extending onto the wizard object, extends, or the wizard class, sorry, extends player, it's extending on the player class, so we're going to add some more functionality, just constructor, name, type, and we'll call super to reference the original object, super, so we need to call super here when we're extending from an object, or from a class, and then we can do, add another function called play, of code here, const.log, template strings, we'll do we, I'm, dollar, this dot type, save that, or whoops, save. Now if we did const wizard1 equal to new wizard, and we'll have the name Shelly, so we're going to pass the name of it, so name is going to be Shelly, and we're going to give its type of healer, and then we'll do a constant variable of wizard2, which is going to be equal to a new wizard, so it's going to be a new wizard, calling on the wizard class, passing it the value of Sean, and his type is going to be dark magic. Alright, so now if we run all of this on the console, we refresh, we run, get undefined. So if we call wizard1, we get name, Shelly, type, healer, very good, so that's the object. If we call wizard2, we get Sean, and his type's dark magic. And now if we do wizard1 dot play, call play, we get I'm a healer, so play, we do wizard, and then we can call the function play, and we get constant.log I'm a this dot type, and in this case we pass type of healer to wizard1, so we get I'm a healer. Now if we do wizard2 and we call the function like introduce from the original player class, introduce, and we use parentheses, and we run that, we get hi, I am Sean, I'm a dark magic, because it says up here constant.log hi, I'm a this.name. In this case we passed Sean to it, and I'm a this.type, and in this case we passed dark magic to it, so we get hi, I am Sean, I am a dark magic. Very good. That doesn't really make sense, but anyway. So you can see how all this works together. So we're going to code it out some more. Wizard1 dot play, which is going to equal the function, which is the same as this function. This.log I'm a this.type, as you can see here. I'm a this.type, we can copy that out. And if we call wizard2.play, it's the same thing as function. And then we run const.log I'm a this.type. You see? So that's how that all ties together. So thanks for watching. And before we go, we'll just have a look at the old way, which was classical inheritance, which is a lot more complicated. So you'd have var player equal to function name type, and you do this dot name is equal to name, this dot type is equal to type, then we do player so this is the old way of doing it, player dot prototype dot inheritance or dot introduce, if we want to add a function to it, and equal to function, we're giving it a function const.log hi I am, and then we do this dot name I am and then we can do $sign this dot type. But we don't use that anymore because we used the one above, which is a lot quicker. So you do class, we can do a class of player, constructor, name type this, and we're giving it the function introduce. You can have a class wizard that extends player, constructor, and then we're calling super. We do play const.log I'm a this.type. We can do const wizard new wizard Shelly, const wizard 2 new wizard Sean dark magic, and then we can call on our functions. Very good. So thanks for watching. Hope you got some value out of this video. Be sure to check out the code and go along as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Comment below any projects you're working on.